Hello everyone, welcome back to CM's English. Hope all of you are doing well. Today I am going to cover up an interesting topic of communication skill. That is steps to develop communication skill, or how to develop the communication skill, or how to master the communication skill. Okay, so we all know that in today's world communication skill is a vital part of our life, because wherever we may go we have to communicate with others. It may be an educational institution, it may be a company, it may be a business sector. Wherever we may go we have to communicate with others. Okay, because if we are unable to communicate, then we cannot express our views, express our concern, okay, to others. If we are unable to do proper communication with others, then others will also start misregard us. Okay, so we have to think that we have to gain some respect in the society, so we all have to develop the communication skill. Okay, so today I am going to talk about the steps how to develop the communication skill. It is applicable for each and every language. Suppose today I will talk about how to develop the communication skill in English. Okay, it is applicable for each and every language. Okay, so suppose I am saying that I have to develop my communication skill in English. Okay, because wherever I am going, it is a mandatory language nowadays. It's a global language, we can say. Wherever we may go we have to speak English. So why it is important to develop the communication skill? Because there is a famous saying in Hindi, जो दिखता नहीं वो बिकता नहीं है. ठीक है बेटा. So if we are unable to show our talent, then others are unable to recognize our talent also. Okay, we may have full of talent within us, but others will think that this person is unable to communicate, this person is unable to express himself over others, so this person has no talent within him. Okay, so to prevent all this situation we have to master the communication skill. Okay, so let's start. So if we want to master communication skill on any of the languages, so first we have to focus on the ingredients, that is L, S, R and W. L stands for listening, S speaking, R stands for reading and W stands for writing. So these four are the ingredients of a communication skill. Okay, so then I am here I have drawn one communication model. Okay, so we will understand how it happens, how one is able to master his communication skill. Okay, so students, at first I am saying we all are familiar with computer. We know how a computer works. Okay, so the computer works on a basic principle, that is input, processing and output. If we are not giving any input, then the computer is not going to give any kind of output. Okay, so we are giving some input, we are giving our problem, the computer is doing the processing part with the help of CPU, and after that it is giving us the output. The same model is here applicable to master communication skill. Okay, so here we have two inputs and two outputs. Okay, that same model is applicable, I have told. So like that, two inputs are listening and reading. Okay, these two are regarded as the input of our developing communication skill, and outputs are speaking and writing. Okay, when we are doing this model, or we are following this model regularly, okay, consistently, then only we will be able to master communication skill. Okay, so first thing is listening. Why listening and reading are the inputs, why speaking and writing are the outputs? First we have to understand. First is listening. Okay, I'm giving you one real life example. Okay, why listening is the most important input among listening and reading. Listening is the most important input. There is no substitute of listening. Why? I'm giving you a real life example. That is, suppose a baby takes birth in a family. Okay, when the baby takes birth, from that particular moment, he never starts speaking. Okay, he or she never starts speaking. At first, he or she cries. Okay, when we all are happy that the baby is very good and he is very nice or she is very nice. Okay, so at that moment, whatever we are talking around the baby, okay, the child is listening everything. Okay, he or she may not be conscious, but those inputs are going into his or her brain automatically. Okay, and the brain is receiving all those inputs. Clear? So what happens after 6 to 7 months, the baby starts making awkward noise. The baby starts speaking different kinds, so we can say different kinds of noise. Okay, different kinds of noise he starts saying. Okay, so what is that noise? Okay, at that moment he tries to speak, but we are unable to understand, we are unable to decode his language or her language. Okay, so after when the baby reaches the age of nearly 1.5 years, at that point he starts speaking some small words like papa, mama, okay, like that, huh? And when the baby reaches the age of 2 to 2.5 years, he starts speaking clearly. Okay, but at this point all of you kindly notice that has anyone taught the baby how to speak? Has anyone taught the baby what to speak at this point? No. The answer is simply no. The baby learns by listening and listening, rigorous listening. Okay, from the day one, from the first minute of his birth, he starts listening. Okay, and gradually his brain receives the input and it processes everything, and finally the process completes and the baby starts speaking. Okay, so when we will listen regularly, if a baby is able to speak in 2 years, okay, at that point still till 2 year he is not going to any school, he is not literate, you may say. But if a newborn baby is able to master the communication skill in 2 years, we can say, then why we people cannot? Okay, so we have to develop that mindset that yes, we can speak. Okay, if a baby is able to speak, then we can also speak. Okay, for that what we have to do? Every day we have to do the listening activity. Okay, at first we may start with the simple English news. Suppose we are watching a cartoon in English, we have to watch that, we have to change the language to English, then we have to listen whatever language we want to master. In that language we have to develop the listening. Okay, active listening means we have to thoroughly, we have to listen how they are pronouncing, okay, what are their styles of speaking, everything we have to listen only. Okay, and regularly we have to do it minimum for 15 minutes. Okay, this model consists of model is hardly of 45 minutes. Okay, regularly 15 minutes of listening. Then come to the second input, that is called your reading. Okay, so you'll say that if listening is the most important input, then what is the need of reading? Okay, then I will say that whenever we are reading, we are developing our vocabs. Okay, we are developing our word power. Okay, so and we are developing the knowledge of grammar also. So at this point I'll say that reading should be of loud reading, it should not be of silent reading. Okay, if whenever we are doing loud reading, At that time, we are doing two activities at a time, that is reading and listening. Okay, earlier I have told you that listening is the most important input. So whenever we are doing the loud reading, we are developing our knowledge, along with we are listening our own voice. So these two acts as the what you can say very effective input. Okay, so these inputs are going into our brain. Suppose consider that this is our brain. Okay, whenever we are giving inputs into our brain regularly, okay, then what the brain will do, it will start processing. Okay, so after listening this listening and reading, okay, English for suppose I am saying for 1 month, obviously we will develop one confidence within us. Okay, that yes, I can speak. Okay, how others are speaking, I can speak. So at that moment we will develop one confidence that yes, I can speak. At that point the student or the person will start speaking, but at first he is going to do n number of mistakes. Okay, huge number of mistakes he will do, but at that time, okay, we should not restrict him, okay, from doing those mistakes. Okay, हम सभी का मिस्टेक होता है पहले पहले, ठीक है. बच्चा बोल देता है पापा आ जाए यहाँ पे, हम लोग उसको सिखाते नहीं पापा यहाँ पे आ जाओ. सो गिव रेस्पेक्ट, हम लोग सिखाते हैं ना, नो नो ऐसे बोलते हैं. बट पहले अगर हम लोग उसका मजाक उड़ाएंगे, हाँ, वी विल मक एट हिम, देन व्हाट विल हैपन, then he will develop a sense of you can say uske he will develop a sense of fear within him, and he is not going to speak that language in future. Okay, so first we have to allow the person or the child to speak whatever he wants to speak. Okay, listening we have to do for 15 minutes, reading for 15 minutes also, so 30 minutes are over, and speaking 10 minutes regularly. Okay, so one question may arise in your mind that I am not a child and I want to develop my communication skill in English language, then what I have to do? So we have to find a peer group, okay, friend circle, okay, those who are interested to speak English, those who are interested to develop their skill. Okay, so at that point we have to find a peer group, or we can find a family member who is also interested, okay, to develop his or her communication skill. So then what will happen, we can do the conversation regularly. Okay, whatever we are thinking, whatever we did from the morning till the night, okay, we have to speak. We don't need to bother about the mistakes. हमें मिस्टेक के बारे में सोचना नहीं है, हमें सिर्फ बोलते जाना है. Okay, so gradually that will develop our confidence level. Okay, then come to writing part. Okay, then you will say that we are doing listening, reading, and now we are able to speak, then what is the need of writing? No, writing is also needed. Why I am saying we have to do 5 minutes of writing regularly. I am not saying that devote a special time for this, but whenever you are going to sleep, just keep a rough copy or diary with you, and start writing whatever you did from morning till night. Okay, so what will happen whenever we will write, okay, we will able to find our own mistakes. Okay, where we are doing the mistake, whether it's grammatical mistake, whether my spelling is incorrect. Okay, so various kinds of mistakes we will be able to find out of our own, because regularly we are listening and we are reading, we are developing our knowledge. So at that point, when we will rectify our own mistake, okay, so when we will rectify our own mistake, then in future we are not going to do that same mistake again while speaking. Okay, so this is called the communication skill, communication model. This model is necessary for developing the communication skill. Okay, so we have to maintain consistency regularly. We have to do, suppose I am saying that on the first day I am doing and I am leaving it for 10 days, on 11th day I am doing, then there is no value of it. Okay, every day regularly as we are eating, as we are sleeping, every day we have to practice this communication skill only for 45 minutes. Okay, from 24 hours, it's very easy to find 45 minutes for our own development. Okay, and at first, when a person or student starts speaking English, he will not be able to form full sentences regularly. Okay, we have to use chunks. Chunks means short words like come here, sit down, time please. Okay, so like this we have to use the short words first. Okay, so this thing will develop our, what you can say, our confidence level. Okay, and we have to stop translation whenever we are saying something in English. Whenever we are trying to say something in English, we should not translate from our mother language to that language. It may be English or Japanese, Spanish, whatever. Okay, we should not do translation continuously in our mind. Okay, if we are doing, then we cannot be a good speaker. Okay, so for that, consistency is required, practice is required, and the first and foremost thing we have to do, that is, we have to follow this model, and whatever we are thinking, okay, we always should try to think in English. If you want to master the communication skill in English language, then we have to think everything in English. Okay, so hope these things are beneficial for you, and hope you will follow this model to develop yourself. Okay, so thank you for watching this class with patience, and if you are new to the channel, then kindly subscribe it and share and like it. Okay, as much as possible. Okay, thank you everyone.